Dear real and weird viewers, in this video, we will show you the true stories of the Conjuring series. First, we will get to know the real Ed and Lorraine, who are Edward Warren Minnie and Lorraine Rita. Edward and Lorraine are famous investigators of paranormal phenomena. Edward was a lecturer, author, and scientist, and Lorraine was a writer, exorcist, and paranormal scientist, and Lorraine claimed to be clairvoyant.
I'm Lorraine Warren, and this is my home. We've lived here, I guess about 40 years now. This is where everything started. Everything started about our work.
Something awful happened here, Ed.
What is it? Whatever Lorraine sees, feels, touches, it takes a toll on her. A little piece each time.
It's been quite a career, and I'm still involved. I'm still involved with hauntings, in helping people get through. It's a very delicate thing with certain people because they're very terrified and very frightened. But there's a lot of people that don't believe.
You have a lot of spirits in here, but there's one that I'm most worried about because it is so...
The story began as we saw in the first part with the Byron Roger family, which called on investigators to help them because of their suffering from abnormal things that happen in the house. With the arrival of the investigators to the family home, they noticed strange things, and after the investigation, it became clear that the house was owned by a witch a century ago. And it seems that the spirit of the witch that is hovering around the house takes possession of everyone who lives in the house, and tries to cause harm, and indeed that happened.
First, 1971, I'm sitting here with Carolyn Perrin, who, with her family, has been experiencing supernatural occurrences.
The children were badly affected, really badly affected. That was a typical place, honey. That was a very, very, very bad place.
We will show you the picture of the witch Bathsheba, who was married to the owner of a house and a large farm. And people saw that she was a strange woman. And what increased those doubts about her was the accident of the death of her 4-year-old son. And when examining the corpse, they found that he died after a sewing needle was inserted into the child's skull. She was charged, but there was no evidence for the accusation. Bathsheba lived alone in the house after the death of her children and her husband, until she died after being paralyzed, and was buried in the village, but rumors spread around her, as some stories say that she committed suicide after killing her children and offering them as an offering to the devil. What makes these stories likely is that all those who own the land experienced some strange phenomena, or they ended up being killed in a strange way. And this is what happened with the Perron family. Their first day began with a man appearing at the gate while unpacking their bags. And when they tried to talk to him, he disappeared before their eyes. After that, the crazy events began in the house, so the doors and windows began to open and close on their own, and many strange characters appeared. Among the many ghosts and the dead, the ghost of the old woman was the most terrifying, because she considered herself the mistress of the house, and she loved Roger and was jealous of him from his wife Caroline, and this prompted her to appear to Caroline and threaten her to leave the house, and she caused Caroline many wounds in her body.
Oh! Caroline, no! Bathsheba! By the power of God, I condemn you back to hell!
This is your daughter! You can't give in!
And here comes the question, why did the Perron family not leave the house? Due to their weak economic condition, they could not leave the house, especially since they put all their money in it, so all they did was contact the investigators, Ed and Lorraine. And the investigators did their best to rid the house of what was in it, but they could not. All they succeeded in was ridding Caroline of the jinn's touch to her.
Angels, I command you to reveal yourself! Speculo Liberator.
After completing this, the family continued to live in the house for 10 years, and this led to doubts about the validity of their statements. And you? Do you believe this story? We hope you liked the video. To follow the second part of the real stories of the Conjuring movies, follow us on the Real and Weird channel.